Pocket Copter. Where would you like Suli sit? Meckham Bretenberg will Shadow Solf open for Macaw City. For Macaw City. 935 gold. House. What Rest Valley? Solvier Cave. A Fural level 10's input go. Caballerain. Flee. Caballerain makes a break for it. Caballerain escaped. The what? Obtain 5,000 gold. Go, Caballerain. Select an action for Caballerain. Flee. Caballerain makes a break for it. Caballerain escaped. I'm looking. People say, I don't. If you would. Have you got one to show me? Yes, no. Go, Caballerain. Select Flee. Caballerain makes a break for it. Caballerain escaped. What Rest Valley? Pocket Copter. Where would you Suli Mecca Breach Chat Solfo open it for Macas Conduan City. Conduan 5,935 gold. $5,935 gold. What Rest Valley? Conduan City. Okamas house. Enter password. Okam Projgear password Omelis. $5,935 gold. The chest. The chest is open. It's a in mod select infant mod select infant mod select Requiem gallery. Infant mod save. Location, Greater Catacombs. Requiem gallery. So infant mods select obtain 500 gold. The MS drive is now capable of performing a few very useful actions for you. For one, it once again works on the machine in Okuma's house. It can also be used to return to the Requiem gallery from any point in the secret hideout beneath Okuma's house. It can also be used to warp out of that hideout, back to Okuma's house. So, if you need to leave and come back, you should find it very easy to do so. Obtain 500 gold. So infant mod. Welcome select infant mod. Select it. JC found a bone dagger V. JC. Selin Mod. Welcome Selin Mods. Select. JC found an encounter down. JC found a life tonic. In mods. Select. In mod. Select. JC found a power dagger. JC. In mod. Select. Obtained 1000 gold. 7,935 gold. Welcome to Invent Mods. Select. In mod. Select. Invent mods. Game selected. So view your party. Select inventory. In mod. Select. Invent mod. Welcome to Invent mod. Select. JC found an Andromeda blade. Catacomb antechamber. Greater Catacombs. On hill. Input monops. Gate selected. Ethereal level 41 Ghost Leonator at go. Cavalier Rain. Faux Ghost Leonator use Stone Pyramid. Faux Ghost Leonator has dealt 19 damage to Cavalier Rain. Choose a move. Cavalier Rain has dealt 222 damage to Faux Ghost Leonator. Faux Ghost Leonator has been defeated. Victory. Cavalier Rain gained 1020. Obtained 103 gold. Ethereal level 42 Neomanja go. Cavalier Rain. Faux Neomanja used Poison Dart. Faux Neomanja has dealt 21 damage to Cavalier Rain. Choose a Cavalier Rain has dealt 110 damage to Faux Neomanja. Faux Neomanja has been defeated. Victory. Cavalier Rain gained 1113. Obtained 104 gold. The water's deep. Want to swim? Yes. No. So invent mods. Select the want. The picturesque waterfall seems almost too perfect. Ethereal go. Cavalier Rain. Faux Neomanja used Vengeance Strike. Faux Neomanja has dealt 6 damage to Cavalier Rain. Flee. Cavalier Rain makes a break for it. Cavalier Rain escaped. Ethereal level 41 Brain.Irrator attack go. Cavalier Rain. Select an act, choose a move. Steel Horn. Cavalier Rain has dealt 82 damage to Faux Brain.Irrator. Faux Brain.Irrator used Power Down V2. Cavalier Rain's strength was decreased by 1 stage. Faux Brain.Irrator has 52% health remaining. Select an act, choose a move. Steel Horn. Steel. Pounds. Aquatic Lift. Bubble Burst. Aquatic. Pounds. Steel Horn. Pounds. Steel. Holy Light. Holy. Cavalier Rain has dealt 29 damage to Faux Brain.Irrator. Faux Brain.Irrator used Power Down V2. Cavalier Rain's magic attack was decreased by 1 stage. Faux Brain.Irrator has 35%. Select invent items. Baby net. Other items. Items. Cancel. Optical potion. Rare jewel. Update in Scam net. 1. Chlorophyll. Aura potion. Encountered Giganet. 12. Select. You are unable to capture Manamon right now. Select the action you wish to perform. Use. Items, Giganet, 12. Select an action for Cavalier attack. Choose a move, Steel Horn. Cavalier has dealt 72 damage to Fograin.Eratter. Fograin.Eratter has been defeated. Victory. Cavalier gained 11.6. Obtained 110 gold. Dyaz Royaum Ruins. Inventory. Save game. Selected. Go, Cavalier. Flee. Cavalier makes a break for it. Cavalier escape. Go, Cavalier. Fogargaram used Unending Curse. The attack missed. You cannot run away because of Fogargaram's entrap ability. Select an action for Cavalier attack. Choose a move. Aquatic Cavalier has dealt 147 damage to Fogargaram. Fogargaram has been defeated. Victory. Cavalier has increased to level 54. Cavalier obtained 120 gold. Input mon. Select. Go, Cavalier. Select choose a quad. Cavalier has dealt 216 damage to Folantlar. Folantlar has been defeated. Victory. Cavalier gained 11. Obtained 114 gold. Inventory. A feral level 44 Gargaram. Go, Cavalier. Fogargaram used Wraith's Curse. Fogargaram has dealt 24 damage to Cavalier. Fogargaram suffered 7 damage from the backlash. Choose a Cavalier. Cavalier has dealt 156 damage to Fogargaram. Fogargaram has been defeated. Victory. Cavalier gained 912. Obtained 115 gold. Inventory items. Giganet, 12. Cancel. Optical Rare Jewel Update and Gamanet Chlorophyll Aurapod Encounter Giganet Speedy Pod Ultra Ink EXP Pal Ultra Encounter Select items. Select Inventory Mono Select The chest is tightly use a trick. JC found a chronocore. JC stored the chronocore in the equipment pocket. File. Input mod save. Selected. The chest use a trick. JC found a try hard. JC stored the select an option. Party. Inventory items. Baby net. Status. Antidote equipment. Haunted hat. Cancel. Try hard. It is a heavy heart-shaped stone attached to a necklace. It gives the wearer the abilities Burning Heart, Drowned Heart, and Seedy Heart. In mod the chest use a JC found a chronocore. JC stored the Select inventory items, status, antidote, 9. Equipment, cancel, chronocore, time heals all wounds, and this strange accessory does its best to live up to that cliché. It heals the user 50 health points whenever an opponent is knocked out. 5. The chest is tightly locked, use a no. In monster. Select the chest, use a JC found a try hard. JC stored. In monster. Select an the chest, use a trick. JC found a Requiem hourglass. JC stored the Requiem hourglass in the equipment pocket. Select an option, inventory items, status, antidote, equipment, haunt, cancel, Requiem hourglass. This hourglass-shaped pendant gives the wearer 50 additional health points. What action should be performed? Equip. Please select a character, Caballerain, unequip the Vapor Garment, and equip the Requiem hourglass. Equipment, Vapor Garment. Select an option, party. Inventory, equipment, Vapor Garment. What actions? Equipment, Andromeda. What actions? Equipment, Andromeda. Select and cancel. View your party. Caballerain has 96 out of 216 health. Caballerain. Select an option, party. 5. Use a trick. JC found a chronocore. JC. Invent mod save. Select. On hill, invent mods, select. The water, what? Greater Catacombs. On hill. Select inventory items. Baby net status. Antidote. 9. Cancel. Mighty herb. 10. Select. Caballerain swallowed the mighty herb. Healing 70 health. Status. Mighty herb. Select invent monster. Don't move. Who are you? A powerful looking man said. You are unfamiliar to us. My name is JC. I said defiantly. The man turned to his companion. He said, I think he did. The companion affirmed, the father told us about you. The first man said, we are the palace guards, you will come with us. Any attempt to resist will be seen as resisting arrest and a personal affront to the princess. Palace guards Kaysen and Sintrafos have challenged you to a battle. Kaysen sent out a Fee-Fum. Sintrafos sent out a Might Rosier. Go, Caballerain and Colavayer. Select an action for Colavayer. Attack. Choose a wing slot. Select the Faux Might Rosier. Faux Fee-Fum. has dealt 250 damage to Fofi Fum. Fofi Fum has been defeated. Caballerain gained 485. Select an action. Choose a move. Aquatic Blitz. Water. Caballerain has dealt 111 damage to Fomite Rosier. Fomite Rosier used Holy Light. Fomite Rosier has dealt 12 damage to Caballerain. Fomite Rosier has 10%. Select and choose a move. Colaveyered has dealt 35 damage to Fomite Rosier. Fomite Rosier has been defeated. Caballerain gained. Palace guards Kaysen and Sintrapose defeated. Kaysen, a symbolic victory alone. Obtained 328 gold. I looked around and felt a chill run through my body. There were now 10 or 11 guards surrounding me. As I said. Kaysen said, symbolic. You will stay here until the princess can be notified of your capture. Requiem Castle. Infant Mon save. Select. Infantry Mon save. Saving is currently not allowed. The guards reappeared and roughly grabbed a shoulder each, roughly marching me through the dungeon door and up the castle stairs. Select an infant Mon save. Select. Oh no you don't. Go into the throne room. Oh no you don't. Infant Mod Select location, Requiem Castle. Hello, I am Princess Andromeda, and may I ask who you are? The woman I was speaking with was the young girl from the vision Hathorlean had given me in his shrine. She looked much less bedraggled, a fine dress flowing over her body and a beautiful golden crown atop her head. Listen, Andromeda, Princess, I've got to talk. She interrupted my urgent rambling. Please, calm down. She said gently, you have nothing to fear, guards. She snapped, have you been hurting this poor lad? Only did what we had to, Princess. The gruff voice of a guard replied, I see. She said, wrinkling her nose in disgust. You've got to listen to me, think about it, something must seem wrong to you. I pleaded, you are being vague. She said, I'm not prepared to talk to you in such a state. I spluttered, we're not going to make any progress, are we? She said with a sigh and a sad look at me, please, send him back to the dungeon. She addressed the guards, I shall give our visitor a chance to calm down, and then I'll visit him in his room, perhaps he'll feel more comfortable that way. Infant Mod saving it select. Location, Requiem Castle. Excuse me? Sorry for startling you, you nearly jumped 50 feet in the air. Andromeda giggled. I didn't hear you come in. I said weakly, I didn't come in the normal way. She laughed. I came in by way of the catacombs. There's another way out? I asked breathlessly. There is, and you will use it to get out of this prison. She said, what? I asked bewildered. After you tell me what the hell you were blabbing about in the throne room, mind. She added quickly, I've noticed something wasn't right the moment I got here, whenever and however that was. For starters, I don't even remember coming here. I have a hazy memory of another world, here I think, or was that a country? Well anyway, my first solid memory is of standing out in the field, or a field I should say, in Requiem. I felt scared, and a little panicked, but then suddenly, everything felt better, peaceful. I don't know that you'll believe me. I said timidly, try me. She grinned, well, I'm not sure how to tell this to you. I said, you're dead, dead. She parried in a dead-sounding voice, how, did I, die? I don't know how exactly. I said grimly, how do you know I am dead? She asked, Okuma told me. I said, you mean Daddy, my father, that Okuma? No, the Okuma that runs the supermarket across the street. I thought sarcastically, but maintained a level, and appropriately solemn tone. Yes, I see. She said in a monotone, he won't answer me when I ask him about all the weird things that I notice about this world. It feels artificial somehow, too perfect sometimes I guess. So, is it heaven I'm in? No, not heaven. I said, it's really a long story. And so I told her about Okuma's art machine, how the real her had no knowledge, no being any longer, how she was the product of what? A computer simulation. For all Okuma's assurance that this was an alternate dimension, it really didn't feel like it, rather it felt like an incredibly realistic simulation. It was sad, watching her valiant effort to hold back her tears as she realized that whoever she thought she was a lie, and that the real Andromeda was long since dead. She swore softly under her breath, I'm sorry. I said hesitantly, not sure if this was the appropriate response or not. Why were you going to let me go free? I asked. I wanted answers. She said, you had them, and I knew you'd tell me what it was you knew, but I was going to tell you anyway. I said. She waved a hand dismissively and leaned toward me, placing an object in my hand. JC received the catacomb key. JC stored the catacomb key in the other item's pocket. This is the catacomb key. She said, it's shaped like a cube. I said, well look at who passed first grade. She said sharply, sorry, I don't know where that came from. I guess it is just hard hearing about one's own death. She laughed quietly. No, this cube will allow you to enter the catacombs from the dungeon of the castle, and from one or two other areas as well. If you are in the catacombs, activating the item also works as an automatic deadless dust and takes you to where you first entered the catacombs. Using this, you should be able to quite easily get out of this castle. When you're out, will you keep trying to stop my father? I don't like this, it isn't right. You said he is hurting Manamon and people to make my world continue turning. That's not right, I know. I said consolingly, of course I will, thank you. She said, I'm going to go have a chat with him. Are you sure that's such a good idea? I asked, what do you mean? She asked, he's got a lot of power in this manifestation, he's basically a god. I said, he could do anything, he could even kill you. She said, a look of horror passing over her face, he's already tried in the real world. I said, I'd rather he not even know I'm here, but I guess that's probably too much to hope for. But if he knows you know everything, he might lose what little sanity he still has. Okay. She said, I won't talk to him, but please stop him. Save. Game save. Select an option. Party. Inventory. Status. Equipment. Haunted hat. Other items. Taming license. Cancel. Catacomb key. A strange cube-like object used to interact in special ways with the catacombs of Requiem. Select the action you wish to perform. Use. Catacombs dungeon entrance. Select other items. Catacomb key. Select the Requiem castle. Select an other items. Catacomb key. Select the Catacombs dungeon entrance. Select inventory items. Baby net. Status. Cancel. Antidote. Equipment. Haunt. Cancel. Chronocore. Andromeda blade. Chronocore. Other items. Taming license. Cancel. Catacomb key. Select the action you wish to. Catacombs dungeon entrance. Invent mods. Select it. $8,929 gold. Catacomb anti Antechamber. Greater Catacombs. Jinkon Hill. A Feral level 40 Symphone at Attaco, Cavalierain. Split. Cavalierain makes a break for it, Cavalierain escape. View your part cultivated. Select invent other items. Select the key seems to serve no purpose here. Select the other items. Select an option. Part. Select an option. Party. View your part. Select. File menu. Catacomb Antechamber. Greater Catacombs. Requiem gallery. Invent mod save. Select.